Greetings, my name is Lucas, and today I'll be presenting on the critical reflection I had made based on the experience of my second year with Sunderland. We began with the core experience, the period in my life in which had led to my most turbulent but critical phase during the emergence of my professional identity. During this period, I felt no satisfaction in my studies and was very confused. I dreaded graduation as I doubted that I would find any meaning in a marketing career. I spent the year struggling for a sense of direction to correct my trajectory towards a meaningful career. Throughout the year, two key events had provided me with the information to reflect on my professional path. The first was my experience within SEGi College. I excelled in my marketing classes, even though I didn't particularly enjoy them, and was often found teaching my classmates through reviewing lectures and guiding their assignments. I even genuinely enjoyed teaching them. Many of my lecturers took notice, and they commented that I should consider becoming a lecturer. I had never considered becoming one prior to that, but this idea had stuck with me ever since. The second event was my internship with a local ice cream chain, where I was given responsibilities within its marketing and event management departments. Ironically, I fared poorly in running marketing tasks, but was immensely satisfied with running the events, where I was sensitive to my clients' needs and emotions. And at this point, seeing the success in my events, I felt both unengaged and inadequate in marketing. Now that I've described the core experience that affected my emerging professional identity, the following section details my reflection on the self. There are three stages of reflection, namely the professional identity identification stage, the professional identity development stage, and the professional identity transformation stage. In the first stage, I'll be focused on answering the question of who am I? To do so, I had reflected on two key areas about myself, namely, what are the key traits or behaviors that I have, and what are the recommended careers based on these traits. The Myers-Briggs type indicator was one of the tools I used to evaluate my key traits. A personality tool that explains how one interacts with the world around them, which affects one's preferences to different natures of work. So based on my results, you can see that I'm curious and observant, yet also someone who is rather extroverted and social. Based on the MBTI personality tool, people like me with this particular mix of traits would find themselves better at jobs of a scientific or creative nature, while also focusing on moving about and connecting people. Next, I use the Johari window, a self-diagnostic tool that identifies my behaviors and traits based on what is known between myself and others around me. In my open area, that is what everyone knows, I am very academically oriented and good at my studies. I'm also someone who is able to talk with just about anyone. Within my blind area, I had learned from my lecturers that I was a good teacher, and given my academic strengths, should consider teaching as a career. On the other hand, my boss from my internship had made it quite clear that while I was good at events, I didn't really perform too well at my marketing responsibilities. These new insights were pretty important because they were new evidences that had validated some of the gut feelings I've been having throughout my struggles in planning my future. Then I used a test on emotional intelligence, which describes my abilities in understanding and managing the emotions of others as well as the emotions of my own. I received a pretty high score on the test, showing that I am adept at recognizing others' emotions, that is being socially aware, and then having the social skills to be able to work with and around their emotions to ensure smooth interactions. Overall, in answering the question of who am I, the findings from the self-diagnostic tools suggest that I would be most suited for careers with emphasis on human interaction, but also on careers with intellectual pursuits, and hence would be most suited for careers such as teaching, but however would find difficulty with corporate marketing or management. I would also have a higher chance to be fulfilled and even successful in a career of lecturing given my ingrained preferences, which echoed the recommendations of my lecturers. Hence, I decided to move towards becoming a lecturer of marketing in developing my career. And that answers my question of what should I be. Now we move on to the next stage, professional identity development. Now that I've decided on what I want to become, I need to plan towards becoming that. So within this stage, I formulated a plan with 3 stages. This was due to necessity. I want to be a lecturer, but that's the end goal. Prior to becoming a lecturer, I want to have at least 5 years of experience in the industry so that I can teach using industrial experience instead of just textbooks. So in order to do that, I needed to build the skills to get employed, to get that experience right after graduating. As such, in order to develop the necessary skills, I plan to spend my first year after graduation working under my uncle, a successful entrepreneur who currently owns several businesses. He's interested in hiring me for a junior managerial position in one of his portfolio companies, and I intend to make use of this first job as the launchpad for my professional skill development. Based on a discussion from my uncle and my personal knowledge, I compared my current state of professional qualifications with that which I was expected to have. As you can see, I am lacking in 4 key areas that is highlighted in red. That is, I lack the experience needed for a job. I don't have a professional background in sales or account management. I lack a keen attention to details and budgetary restraints. And I am currently not independent and not able to meet deadlines while working on multiple projects. This brings me to my action plan, which addresses what I plan to do at my uncle's company to build up that foundation of marketing skills and qualifications that will ensure that I stay employed in the industry while I get the experience I need to teach. First, to get my degree, I'll be finishing my studies at Sunderland and graduating sometime around the 3rd quarter of 2018. Regarding my experience, I will obtain that through working for a year at my uncle's company. To improve on financial literacy, I'll be taking the effort to learn how to budget, perform basic accounting, and learn about the financial side of corporate planning. Regarding business management, I'll strive to fulfill the responsibilities given to me, and through that, learn how to manage accounts and coordinate management strategies. Lastly, I'll take the opportunity to manage my work efficiency by pushing myself to complete tasks ahead of time. Now, let's look at the 3rd stage, the professional identity transformation stage of my reflection. Here, I answered the question on why it should be this way. Why is it correct for me to go work in the industry even though I wouldn't be the best at it? The short answer is society, or the expectations of society. Society dictates that corporations would only hire competent employees based on their professional qualifications and skills. Hence, I would need to undergo professional transformation to obtain the professional qualifications and skills necessary to achieve my short-term job of getting a job, which will provide me with the industrial experience to eventually enable me to move into an academic career. As of now, I wouldn't do too well in the company, but after my professional transformation, I'll be able to perform well enough to get the experience I need and then move on to teaching, where I would find the most success, meaning, and happiness in my career. Now that I've summed up my critical reflection, we can retrospectively identify the 3 key self-identity metaphors that best describe me according to Alverson's model. Based on my conflicts and struggles in pursuit of finding the right career, it is clear that I am a struggler. Yet through my development and reflection, I was able to utilize the resources and tools available to me to pursue a strategy, to decide who I want to be. This shows that I also fit the image of a strategist. Additionally, my reflection had shown that I find meaning through painting a clear narrative, through recounting the way I experience life, basically my feelings, and my journey on deciding who I should be, and the way I chart my path towards the future I seek. This shows that I would fit the metaphor of a storyteller. With that, I conclude my presentation on reflective research on my second year with Sunland. May we all pursue a better understanding of who we are, how we should be it, and know why we should do what we do to get there. Thank you.